You're listening to the Blue Collar Nerd Podcast.
All right, welcome to another exciting episode of the Blue Collar Nerd Podcast. I'm the Plummalorian. I'm joined by Plum Dangerous,
Yo,
Nick Electric,
what's that?
and we got a special guest here. We got Matt, aka Plummer, off Instagram. What's up, man?
How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good, man. We are so excited to have you on here.
I'm all good. Glad to be here.
If you guys aren't picking up, Matt is from the UK. It's actually, we're recording, it's almost 10 p.m. here, and it's almost 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. where you're at?
It's 2:44 a.m.
Yep, 2:44, man. And we're happy you're able to stay awake here.
Now I'm built to be here.
Oh, awesome.
I do too.
Damn, it's a party, man.
It is. It's always a party. I know. Need some horns going. Yes.
Starting off strong.
All right, Matt, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
So we're going to, on this podcast, talk about, this is actually Matt's idea, to talk about the differences between the plumbing and things that go on there in the UK versus over in the United States. Obviously, Georgia, where me and Danger Plum isn't exactly like the entire United States, but I will say this, videos that I post on Facebook and Instagram, especially Facebook, I hear it a lot, is I'll have a lot of guys from the UK jump in on there and they'll say things like, "Don't you own a bender? Where's your bender, man?" And my response is, nobody bends over here. So anyway, before we get into that, Matt, you gonna want to just introduce yourself, how long you've been doing this, how old are you, that kind of thing?
So, my name is Matt. Go by the name of Plummer on Instagram and socials and stuff like that. I'm 32. I've been plumbing ever since I left school at the age of 16.
Oh, wow.
Got pushed into it from my mother and my father. My dad is a self-trained kitchen fitter, so he's like a chippy, what we would class over here. And my brother's an electrician, so basically my mum wanted the house done for free. So she's got everybody, she's got all the sides all covered, which is quite funny. So yeah, so I've been doing it ever since I left school. My first 2 years was an apprenticeship. That's where we go to work 4 days a week, and then we go to college 1 day a week. That's where you do all your like tech and stuff like that, and you get all your papers. So I first started out doing renewables for 2 years, and then we didn't get round to doing the gas because the company that I was working for, we didn't actually fit gas boilers. So I never got around to doing that side of my work. And then after that, I started, you'll probably find this quite interesting. I was doing plumbing for a company for 3 to 4 years, and our main contracts were like royal families.
Oh, wow.
So I've actually worked in all the royal families in the area over here, which is quite cool.
That is cool.
All those clients were all like multi-millionaires and stuff. So that was really
It's
good.
the opposite
So
here in
yeah,
the
I got to
States.
work in like big.
Yeah, if you go to a rural
really?
area, just know that it's probably not going to be high dollar. Let's put it that way. No, usually it's a house that they're like, my
Multi-millionaire,
great
no.
granddaddy built this, and you're just like, oh, this is all going to be wrong.
Oh, do you
Yeah.
think I said rural?
Is that what you said, or
Yeah.
was I incorrect?
Or maybe you're saying royal.
Yeah, royal.
Oh, you're saying royal.
Yeah,
Royal.
yeah,
Royal, like
yeah,
royalty, like
yeah,
the
the royal
queen.
family, like the king and the
Yeah.
queen and stuff. I used to work in all their houses.
Really?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very interesting.
Do they have gold toilets?
No, I'll tell you what. When I don't know how much I can say without them like coming to get me, but when I was an apprentice, because all this sort of time was when I was an apprentice, I've actually put the King of England's toilet in. I helped fit his actual royal throne, is what you want to call it.
The royal throne.
That is
So
awesome.
Is it custom made to like his
Yeah.
height? And
It's basically a toilet pan.
Yeah.
With a wooden surround to it with like place to put your arms, like it's big like an armchair,
Yeah.
but made out of like
Is it one of those?
solid.
Like heated seats.
Yeah.
Bidet.
Nah, it's
No.
just old school, man. It's just oak.
Just an old wooden toilet.
Wow.
You have to understand though, like this has a lot of history to it though, with this royal throne. Because one of the like premises of what they called the throne, a lot of times people call, we make a lot of jokes that have to do with the royal throne in a toilet for a man. You know what I'm saying?
the porcelain throne.
Correct. And that's
Yeah.
why this is like, he's telling us that he put the toilet in for the King of England, the current King of England, correct? Matt,
Yeah, so he was the Prince of Wales back then.
and now he's the king. So now it's not God save the queen, it's God save the king. So he's royal throne.
Exactly.
That's like really cool,
Yeah.
man.
That's like my claim to fame,
Yeah.
if you want to call it. But like I said, I was
Royal flush.
at a really early stage of my work. I was working along somebody else, but yeah, I got to been very privileged in the places that I've worked with. Yeah, so I did that for 4 years, and then I was in schools, police stations, hospitals, doing a bit of commercial work,
Yeah.
and then after that, back into the standard 3-bed houses, doing what we're doing now, really. Yeah, I've been doing it 16 years.
That's really cool.
I unclogged the toilet for the R&B singer Monica. Does anybody even know who that is?
I know who
Right.
Monica is. I've been to Mariah Carey's house,
Nice.
but that's just
Nice.
me.
Okay.
Have you heard of Pink Floyd?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I've worked at the drummer's house.
No way.
Oh, he used to be a drummer. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. I listen to Another Brick in the Wall all the time in my work band.
Yeah, Nick Mason, I think he's called. Yeah, he used to have a real cool helicopter, which I think it had the artwork of Dark Side of the Moon all over it.
Yeah.
It was quite
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yes.
Anybody watch that show Vampire Diaries? Everybody's gonna be like, no, never. Come on. That was a chick show, man. Who's watching that? Anyway, I did a water heater call for one of the actresses on there. I didn't know it when I was at the house, but I started seeing photos and stuff on the wall. And then I actually found her on Google because I was like, this girl's got to be famous or whatever. And my cousin's the one that actually was like obsessed with that show. And she was like, that's so and I can't even remember her name. She wasn't like an A-lister or anything like that. But anyway, apparently she's got like millions of followers on Instagram and stuff. So
Very
anyway.
cool, man.
yeah. But anyway, back to you, man. This is really cool. Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna start this over. Sorry, I'm still in like shock.
Right.
I'm
of-
sorry, it's really tired. It's really a tiring time for you, isn't it?
No, yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. I just have to say this. I just think it's hilarious that Matt just starts off like, "Hey, by the way, I used to do all the plumbing for the current King of England, and at the time he was
Royal-
the Prince of Wales." So, yeah, I'm just like blown away. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like where do I go from there, dude? Because I was like, I'm about to start talking about push fittings, and you're talking about the royal family. Anyway, so let's talk about the benders, man, because I know that you guys pride yourself in the use of bending copper pipe, and I know that the mentality of a lot of you guys, because talking to them in the comment section and stuff like that, it's all about points of failure, right? And then you guys actually have codes where you can't put like what couplings in the wall or something like that.
I think it's just frowned. Like the way that we think about it is, if something's going to go wrong, why put it somewhere that you can't get to?
Yeah,
If that makes sense, because you only got to open up to get to it anyway.
right.
So what we naturally do is try and reduce the amount of fittings used by just bending the copper to avoid that
because of
situation.
turbulence.
Yeah, you get
Right.
better flow rates going through. It is sometimes quicker. So if I know that I've got to quickly bend around a wall, I would literally just measure up, pull a bend, and then that's one less thing to worry about. Do you know what I mean? You're already on the other side working from
Right.
day one sort of thing.
I'm at the point with the comment section that I'm gonna go buy a bender and I'm gonna literally, just for the heck of it, start installing these water heaters, bending some elbows. I might be out there for a while.
Dude,
'Cause
is your pipe work
they're-
even able to do that, or is it that hard that it would just snap, or
No.
what's the
Well,
reason
if
why?
you've seen some of these installs, Danger is what I'm talking about. But if you see some of these installs that I deal with on a daily basis, compared to everything else in the house, that's going to be the most beautiful piping. Bending copper, as far as time goes, for me, I feel like it's just quicker to just pop some fittings in there and be on the merry way. and everything's accessible because most of the stuff that I'm working on is in a garage or something. So if anything's gonna fail, it's right there. It's not in a wall or anything like that. So
Have you got
no,
big spaces to work in
No.
on a general?
we, gener-
It
well, I
depends on
do.
the
I mean, most of the
situation.
time.
And the thing is, though, is that here in the States, like our code, now I don't know what code you fall under, where the area that Plum and I work in, we fall under what is called the IPC, the International Plumbing Code. But I don't know how international that code actually is because we have two codes.
Probably just
We don't have
Canada.
any of
Well,
that, I don't
but
think.
see, the Canada code is the Canadian International Plumbing Code. So I don't know if that falls. I do know that when speaking
Hmm.
with Vader, it's very similar in what we do. But on like where Nick is, they have what is called the UPC, which is the Uniform Plumbing Code. So even in the United States, there's two different codes that you follow depending upon what region you live in. Boston Plumbing Monster, Matt, he has told us on the podcast that we've had in the past that it's the Massachusetts Plumbing Code that controls all of the code in the state of Massachusetts. We have 3 different regions that do different codes, and I know that in our code book, it doesn't talk about bending. And when I was an apprentice, we didn't learn how to bend copper. The only reason why I know how to bend anything or use a bender is because I decided to be in electrical work for a little bit, and I had to learn how to use a bender, which, of course, Nick probably can use with his eyes closed.
Basically,
Well,
yeah. I
that's
mean,
still a
bending
conduit, I take it.
bending conduit it's an art, and I've been looking at your page recently. As soon as I heard that you were going to be on the show, I was checking you out, and I was like, damn, yeah, I didn't realize you could do that. They had a copper bender, and I've been watching your videos on there, your reels, and I was like, damn, that looks phenomenal. I mean, I see it, and I see racks of conduit. I just like, when are you going to pull your wire, bro? You need help? But
Hey,
yeah,
you
it
know,
looks
Access
phenomenal.
points it.
I showed my dad that video where you said, "This is my bender." There are many,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
this
yeah.
is my dad. My dad goes, "I got that reference. I know what he's talking
Yeah,
about."
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Did you?
Oh,
or
I
no?
did.
no,
I know
yeah,
exactly
I know
where
what
the
Didn't
myth
get
is
it.
from.
Then,
Private pile.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I'm showing my
Wow.
age right now.
That's a great move.
It is a good movie.
yeah, it's something always stuck in the back of my head of that little saying that the bloke recites with his little rifle in his arm. And I
Yep.
thought, yeah,
No,
I reckon I could do something a
is
bit
my
like
rifle.
this. And it was just a bit of a mess
Yeah.
around, really.
You got to try different things with the internet.
Yeah.
It's a wacky place, and sometimes you just got to stretch out of your comfort zone and do something. And man, I don't know if you were following me back when I put my Spider-Man mask on and hung upside down from
I remember that.
before protest
I didn't see
90s.
that.
And then all I got was like a couple guys commenting like, "Man, I could never do this. Like, how do you like as far as like being an influencer? Like they were talking about like actually doing this and posting it on the internet." And I was like, "It's not real. None of
Yep.
this is real,
It's
guys."
just social media.
Yep.
But yeah,
But
I guess my question
anyway,
is that for here we have copper, and I don't know if it's different, where you are, Matt. But for instance, like we have copper, it's M, L, and K. That's our rigid copper, and then of course we can get rolls of soft copper. When it comes to the States, like you don't really see anyone bending copper. We just do the 90. So I don't know if yours is the same over there, and that's why you guys bend stuff. Because I think it's really smart. But yeah, the
talking about
quality
quality.
and then what type of copper we use, because we either use rigid or we use soft copper. Because there's nothing, because I
Yeah.
looked in the code books, and there's nothing, at least in the IPC, that states that we cannot bend copper. 'Cause it seems like it'd be faster.
Like I told you, I'm gonna start doing it, man.
Do it.
I'm gonna put it on there, and then the next comment I'm gonna get like, "Why is he wasting his time bending the copper?" It's like the exact opposite of what they were saying before. It's like you can't please one set of people. You just
Nah,
you
you're
you
always
Oh,
do
gonna
yeah.
get
one
upset,
thing.
aren't you?
Oh yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
thrive on it. Have you seen my Facebook
So
page and my comments on there, or the comments I get and my responses? Like,
yeah,
I thrive on the people that tell me that I'm a hack or I do it wrong. I'm like, dude, different parts of the world do different things. Different parts in the United States do different things.
it's a whole new The Facebook's so interesting, and that's for me the worst one. TikTok's like right there with it, but Facebook, I get some of the funniest
Matt, do you
comments
get
on
a
there.
lot of hate on your pages, or do you get a lot of good stuff?
Oh my
Let's
gosh,
hear it.
dude! You can tell Matt. Dude, I want to hear this. Yeah.
The story, right? I can't remember how long I've been doing Instagram properly. Probably over a year, just over a year ago, I think it was. And I worked really hard to get to where I am. And then recently I've I've had a couple of really lucky like viral videos that
That's
have just
awesome.
exploded. And with the growth of those, where we do a lot of work over with Facebook as well, you know what
Oh,
Facebook's like, right?
yeah.
So the video explodes, and because it's
we?
all to do with
Oh,
like
yeah.
monetizing and stuff like that, they literally want to show it to
Yep.
every single eye for them to run the algorithm
Yeah,
through
my
the ads
first
and stuff
video
like
on
that.
Facebook has
So
72.1 million views. That was my first video I ever posted on Facebook for my
right,
Plum Dangerous plumbing page on Facebook. And I'm sure yours is probably the same way, but it just, the amount of hate through that is just phenomenal.
yeah, and then now because the videos have exploded, my growth recently is just beyond gone anything what I could imagine. And people are saying, "Oh yeah, look at this man. He's like buying followers. He's buying bots. Look at these
Yeah.
massive amounts of people from Iran,
Yeah, yeah.
Middle East countries and stuff like that that are
Mhm.
following my account." And I'm like, "Look, why would I buy followers when they're from other countries and stuff like that? If I was going to buy followers, it would be in my own area.
It's the World Wide Web.
That's where I'm
Of
going to get
course,
attraction,
everyone's
isn't
going to
it?
see
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Exactly. So I can only assume that Facebook's pumping it around the world. The countries that it's being viewed in obviously may not show what we do, so it just gains massive traction. And then I just get people bombarding me saying, "Look, he's buying followers, he's buying followers," when it's under no control of myself whatsoever. What
Right.
Facebook do with it, basically. But yeah, I'm getting quite a lot of jealousy. What I could only class as jealousy of people seeing some growth. And yeah, but I don't know if it's the same with you guys. Like, when you look at your analytics,
Hey,
can
Oh,
you
yeah.
see that you get a lot of followers
Oh,
from
yeah.
places that are nowhere near
I-
you and stuff like that?
Yep.
here's what I gotta say. Here's what I gotta say to those people that are hating on you. Get good, bro.
I know, man. I know. And those people are like, "Oh, I
I'll
can't
tell you,
believe, like,
Matt.
look at your numbers," and I'm like, "Look
Yeah,
at your
I
content." Do
I'll
you know
tell
what I
you
mean?
right now.
Hate us because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
ain't
well,
us.
that's what I'm gonna say.
There you
My
go. They hate us
my,
because they ain't
my
us. I'm gonna
quote
start
that I tell
plugging that quote in
everybody
there.
in my quotes when they send some hate comment just to put it in place, I say, "Don't hate me because you ain't me," you know. And that. But here's the thing, though,
Yep.
and I know Plum really understands this, especially on Facebook. Like, your haters are your best followers because that's what. Yeah, it just
just gets the
goes
algorithm going,
crazy,
doesn't it, as
and
well?
like you have to
Yep.
respond, but you have to understand that you're the and I hate to say this, but like the monkey in the cage to perform for these people. So you have to stay in your lane. So you have to have tough skin, and then on top of that, you got to have some snappy little rapid tool, something to say back that they're just gonna send a paragraph back to you. Yeah,
That's what I usually say to
yeah.
them, Danger, is stay in
Yeah,
your
no,
lane. That
man.
really sets them off.
I know you are, but
hate
what am
to
I?
just say, I mean,
Yeah.
I have a guy this one person that just goes in my comment section and he will post like specs, manufacturer recommendations, like he will just go nuts. And I just keep poking at him. I'll just say stuff like, "No, you're wrong." Yeah, what do you
What do you
mean?
mean?
I'm not understanding the comment. Yeah.
I don't
So,
understand.
you
What are you
know,
talking about?
I hate to hear that. Again, like it's just you gotta, yeah.
It's crazy, man. I've
Yeah.
literally spent like the last few days trying to
It
please
is.
my own
It
innocence.
is.
Do you know what I mean?
That's funny.
And what I actually found today was, so all this recent stuff is exploded just from one video.
Yep.
And the test that I actually done today is I sent that video, like archived it. And so that's like where you just put the video on a back burner, but it's still, you can bring it back and all the interaction and all the likes and
Yeah.
stuff that's still there. So I took that away, right? And my followers stopped coming
Right.
in. And then I waited 4 hours, brought it back. Dun, 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 dun. The cog just keeps
Yep.
going and going, back up again. New followers every 5 seconds and stuff
Yep.
like
Let it
that.
fly,
It's just
man.
Let it go.
Let it
crazy.
fly.
Just let it go.
Yeah, I'm just thinking I'm just
Let
going
it
to push
go.
it, see what happens. And yeah, in the next more videos that I make, let's see it all happen again, man.
Yeah, on Instagram, you're over 10K
Yeah.
now. You're like a 13 or something now, aren't you?
Yeah, I haven't quite looked recently.
12.4. I got you right
you're
now.
too big now. Big. You're.
This
He's like, I looked at it. Like, I know I know when I was getting close to
Ooh,
10K, I was
yeah.
looking at that thing every freaking day.
I know.
I was
man.
like
And then you
9,998.
for a bit. You'll plateau out where it's just slowly coming in, and then you hit 15, and then all of a sudden it just ramps right back up. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
At least
the more
that's
you
how
got,
it
the
was
quicker
before. I
you
don't know.
go
But
as
it's
well.
just,
I
yeah,
looked at
that's
it.
the thing with social media. It's just like you do one thing and it blows up. And I tell everyone that asks me, they're like, what's the secret? And I'm just like, dude, have tough skin. Just get ready, because you'll find that like these people that are just wanting to prove what they say in the comment section is true, and just, yeah, you just got to keep on rolling with it.
It. I told Matt when he was asking me for some advice and stuff way back, and I said it only takes a
Mhm.
couple viral videos
Yeah,
to
literally.
get a following going. I was like, and danger, because like you said, that one you got's like 70
Yeah,
something
72.1.
million. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's some crazy number. I don't know. I got one on there. It's probably
You probably have
in
almost
that
like 100
range. I have
million.
no idea, but
Did you buy a new car
But that's
on
the
your
thing.
registration plate?
That's the thing.
So I would've
It was the first video. You have to
Is
to
that what they're
qualify
saying to
for all
you?
this stuff before you actually start getting it. So that's why that's it.
Yeah,
Right.
They know
And
all
that's
my
the thing, like on the
details.
other side of this, just because you get your first viral video doesn't mean you make anything from it.
Yeah.
I
Just
think I've got about
yeah.
five or six videos that have hit over the million viewer mark. So that's definitely what's helped rapid growth.
Yeah, and I also, and I don't know if I told you this, Matt, but I get a lot of, not a lot, but I get a handful of people that'll ask me similar questions like, how do you,
Oh
what
yeah.
are your recommendations and stuff like that? And what I tell people is most companies that are on social media don't perform as well as an individual. Like as yourself, if you go on there as a plumber and you're just posting content as yourself, whether you're at your house or it's like a quick 15-second video or something, you will perform better than if you were Plumber plumbing
LLC.
company. Yeah, on there, because they don't want to follow a plumbing company because it's more of like where the
Mhm.
company's going to sell them something. Like they look at it as you as like a salesman versus just a content creator.
Yeah.
So a plumbing company will never do as well as a content creator on there, just
Yep.
posing as an individual. I've told that, and some people will scratch their head and, oh, yeah, it makes sense, but then they don't change
And
it.
don't
They
have
just
your
stay with what
company's
they're doing.
name in your video.
Exactly. Yeah, that's, man, I had, dude, Danger, did I tell you I was in that plumbing
I am
fails
too.
group? I'm still in it.
I'm in it. If
I like to, yeah, I like to see
Oh,
what
I
these
do too.
guys talk about on there, because I like to see if my videos are getting shared, because I crack up at the comments and stuff. But I saw a post from one kid. He was like an apprentice or something like that, but he was in there. He like they went after his job. Like he posted, and I don't know why he posted this, but he posted a photo of something that he did, and I guess he was wearing like his company shirt and everything in the picture. And they went on
Yeah.
Google and did all
I
these
watched
like
that happen.
false
It was like
reviews and
hyenas
stuff.
to like a water buffalo.
Yeah.
Like they just were like,
Yeah.
like they like the hyena
Yeah.
flew, and they just
I'm like,
tore
that
him
poor
apart,
kid, dude.
and then started talking about the company he worked for, and I was just like, oh my god. I was like, yeah, that's the thing, is that
Yeah.
that's why, yeah, don't have your company name. If you work for a company, don't have it in the videos. Either put some duct tape over your logo or have a shirt in your van to change out of, because yeah, they will tear you.
People
Oh,
are
they
ruthless.
are so ruthless on the internet.
Burn the
It's only getting
witches.
worse. It's only getting worse. Yeah. But anyway, Matt, so the other thing that I think we were talking about were the viewpoint of push
Oh,
fittings.
yeah.
Or no, let's back up. Well, we can
I'll
talk about
tell
that.
you,
but
I got
yeah,
a good question for you.
yeah, go ahead.
So, what size is your normal soil stack?
That's going to be, we can do half the size of the sewer. So if it's a 4-inch sewer leaving the house, it can be a 2-inch stack coming out. And then everything else can be, I think, so you can do like typically we'll try to do a 3-inch stack, but it's usually a 2 that comes out, and then
Yeah.
everything else is going to be either 2 or 1.5 for like your labs or your bathrooms, your grouping and everything.
So where the connection from your toilet goes
Yeah,
into
it's a 4x3.
Yep.
Typically, it's a closet bend. So you have a 4x3.
Why
Yeah,
is
4x3,
it? Why is it
nice.
Because
3 inch?
our standard is 3-inch until it hits the sewer, which is 4, and then upsizes to 6. And then by the
Yeah,
Okay.
our mains exiting the house
Yeah.
are 4-inch typically. Some of
Right.
these older homes are 3, but
yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
then they go to
that's
6-inch,
IPC code.
like in the
UPC
main.
code, they have to use the same size vent, their main vent, as the size of their sewer. So if you have a 4-inch sewer main, you have to have a 4-inch stack coming out.
Okay. I'm only asking because we basically put 4-inch to our toilets.
Yeah, but you guys also use 1.25 for your venting also, correct? Just for your labs? Not anymore? Okay.
So normally what a normal domestic dwelling would have is a 4-inch pipe
Okay.
coming out the floor. And then that 4-inch pipe generally goes all the
Right.
way up in one straight line and vents outside through
Correct.
the,
Now,
through the
what are
roof of the
your
house.
your
And then
secondary
what
venting,
happens,
like all your bathroom grouping and stuff? Because
it tees
so you
all
guys
into
have
that one
one
pipe.
vent stack for everything. Okay, so we can't.
Yeah.
So we
No
can't.
bathroom
So
group.
Yeah. So whenever I look at pictures of like the American stuff, it's just like masses of loads of like
correct,
separate vents
correct.
everywhere,
And
all
we
going
use
to
air admittance
everything.
valves too. I don't know if you guys use those or Studer venting.
We use them on the traps itself. So if we have, say, 3 stack points in one big house that all meet the same sewer, you have to have one, at least one that goes
Okay.
to atmospheric pressure. So you have to have one that goes up and vents outwards. The other ones can actually have a air
So we
emittance
can
valve.
only use them
One,
Okay.
if there's no venting within 30 times the pipe diameter size of the vent. And then we have to use an air admittance valve.
Yeah, they're usually
Yeah.
under kitchen
Well,
sinks and stuff here.
yeah.
They
Anywhere
like
there's
do
an
the
island
islands
where
and
it's in the
stuff.
middle of the kitchen area and you can't run a vent pipe, we
Yeah.
have to use an air admittance valve. Or you'll hear most times they call them a Studer vent, but that's a brand. It's like channel locks. Yeah,
right, I
cheater
got you.
vent.
Cheater
Yeah,
vent.
yeah.
A cheater
You
vent.
just put a cheater vent on it. You'll be all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. I get so much hate. I get so much hate when I post something and I'm not even touching that. They go, I would have used a
No,
I'd be like,
don't,
hey
don't.
boy.
We're not going to plug that
Like-
guy. No, because he's cool, but he's calm down.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. So anyways. Yeah, that's interesting for sure.
And I see a lot of your traps are like in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we were gonna talk about that. Yeah.
What? Why? Because we generally just have the 4-inch stack that goes from the floor all the way up to the top, and then we
Yep.
branch off. So all the bathrooms are basically positioned near that vent pipe. Hopefully, right? You hope the architects actually got the bathrooms
Okay.
close to that stack. So the basins and stuff like that, they all have traps that come off of them. So we either put they've got like the air emittance valves on them as well, just to help the flow and stuff go through. But we would normally have the traps directly straight underneath the sink, so that the traps go on.
We do.
Yeah, so the traps for like
Sometimes.
lavatories and kitchens and stuff, that's usually under the sink, but like
Correct.
a bathtub,
And with the shower.
it's gonna be under the floor.
Why?
Because we're
the
Americans
shower.
and we don't think things through.
Because if you ever needed to get it out,
So is like your bathtub like tall? Yeah, is your bathtub like
And where is
taller,
your
or, like,
trap
what do
for
you
your
guys
shower?
so the top at the
For a standalone shower.
so the shower ones are actually in like the waste. So you've got
Right.
waste that goes into the shower, and then the trap
Yep.
bolts
Right.
onto the underside of that. So that's fine. We can understand that we can't get to it, but like baths, they're normally just underneath the bath.
Yeah, but there's like enough space under it so where it's not
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
ceiling.
no.
I got you.
Yeah, unless you've got a freestanding bath, they're actually still within the bath body, as you can
Yeah.
say, but they're like
Okay.
in within
Right.
a skin, if that makes sense. We don't have
No,
traps under the floor because I mean, if you ever needed to clean a trap for
Oh,
hair and stuff,
We got
how
something
do
for
you
that.
get to it?
I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, rigid, right?
It's
called-
called
It's
rigid
called a
tools
zippy, son.
P50.
So what we do here is we take this here plastic thing that looks like a cable tie and we just shove it down into the pipe and we just work it back and forth.
A zip,
Man,
that serrated
That
zip
thing is
tie.
such a joke.
I use that thing on
I know.
I use that thing on everything,
Yep.
and when the homeowner sees me use that thing, I was like, "Yeah, you could buy one of
Yep.
these if you want
I
it."
actually tell homeowners, I'm like, listen, it's $20 at Home Depot. Just get it. Look, you can see how I'm using it, and just every couple of months do that. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, because here's your $300 bill.
Yeah, we just take the traps off.
Yeah.
See, that's what we do. Take the traps
Well-
off, clean it, and stuff like that. Because you're not allowed to
Well,
use
okay,
S-traps
well,
either.
S-traps are illegal in some instances, but so down in the south part of the states, like the southern part, the part that lost the Civil War, We use what are called tubular traps. So we can actually take traps off and clean them out, but it's a thinner type of plastic and it can cause leaking, especially if there's a backup. Now, if you go to a spot like, for instance, I'm just going to use as an example, Boston Plumbing Monster, you'll hear a lot with those guys up north that they have glue-on traps, like the hard pipe. And right,
Yeah, I've
and there's
seen
always
that.
like this discussion about it, and that's because their code says they have to do that. And I don't know for certain, so if someone's listening that is UPC out for plumbing, I don't know for certain if they use tubular, but I can tell you that we do, so we can remove our traps and clean them. And we do typically because it's an easy $200.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the same thing with you over there.
We don't have glued traps that way.
Okay.
All of ours are mechanical that you take apart, basically.
I got you. Yeah, you guys also use a lot of ball valves that are compression type, I'm assuming, because I get that comment like when I install like a press ball valve, because you guys sweat a lot too. Do you guys use ProPress over there? Like press?
No, we use press over here because I think you use like Vega Press and
Mega Press,
Mega Press and stuff
ProPress,
like that.
Yeah.
So we have press fittings over here, but that's only come onto the market within the last, I don't know, 5 years. So
Yeah. Okay.
generally,
Yeah.
generally we would solder pretty much all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Fix would be plastic, just to beat quotes, unless people want it all done in copper. But obviously we have to. So if a whole house wants to be done in copper, you know that you're going through the top of the floor. So all the floors will come up and you notch all the joists to then lay the copper down. Obviously now it's easier to drill through the timbers, so it has to be plastic, right? Otherwise you can have a joint every meter.
Do you guys use any
Right.
PEX or plastic piping at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, we use like a poly pipe where the actual fittings just push over the top of the pipe.
Interesting.
We don't have like expanders that we expand it and then go over top or anything like that. We just literally Tektite.
Yep.
It's like that, but plastic. So you stick an insert in and then you just pop the fitting straight over the top.
Yeah, so Danger, he's talking about like Tektite. I don't know if you guys remember that video I did, but that's one of the brands, the original push fitting.
Shark bite, basically.
Yeah, basically like a shark bite. And that was the conversation that I was also going to have with him, is that's frowned upon by a lot of people in the trade, at least over here, based on the comment section. And
It's like a DIY.
Yeah.
yeah, but they have
Yeah.
their
Over
place.
here, it is. It's
Yeah.
you go to your, do you guys have Home Depot where you are?
Nah, man. We have, ours is called like B&Q, which is like a DIY.
Yeah.
shop.
It
So
really,
like an
yeah,
Ace
it really
Hardware.
is. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah, we can't buy like AK-47s from any of our shops.
If you buy enough at Home Depot, they give you one for free.
America.
Yeah.
Totally joking.
I'm gonna get a can of baked beans, and here's a new
Right,
magazine
exactly,
for my AK.
exactly. That is wild. That is so wild. Yeah, so we have a mega store that like it has all you could. Yeah,
I've heard
you
of
can
Home
like literally
Depot.
buy anything to build a house, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you're gonna build a house, I would say go. We
Yeah,
also
yeah,
have
yeah.
supply houses, but yeah, the
What about Lowe's? I heard
Oh,
about
yeah.
Lowe's.
Yeah, Lowe's
we
is
got
basically
those.
a Home Depot.
Okay, just
Lowe's
like a
is for
different brand.
hose, man.
Lowe's is for hose.
Hey, for the sake of time, I know you and I talked about you guys don't really use expansion pecs over there.
No. How good is
Kinda-
that for like high pressure systems? Do they stay on really well?
Yeah, I haven't any problems, and some of these homes have 130 psi on them. So
I want a part 2 of this. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this.
yeah.
I need a part 2 with Matt.
no, we're definitely gonna have to touch base. We had Boston on a couple times that one time when we were doing it in the other podcast. Matt, we're gonna have to do this, and maybe we can time it better for your schedule on a Saturday and just do it like earlier or something.
Yeah, I'm down, man. I'm down.
Yeah, but
I'll have to go through the boss first.
I hear
So
you.
if she's
Yeah,
alright with it.
yeah.
But yeah, man. So yeah,
Good answer.
Right,
Good
right.
answer.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
hanging out of my ass today. That's for sure.
let her know we definitely appreciate it, and we got some listeners here, and I know that we're going to only continue to grow this podcast, and I know that they're going to benefit from hearing some of the stuff that you've shared with us. And it's always interesting to hear like how different people do things around the world and everything. And I want to say you're our first guest actually that wasn't from like within the United States, other than
Yeah,
yes,
don't leave out
Vader. But he's practically American. He's gonna kill me for saying that.
Right, he's always there in Florida with you guys.
Yeah, he's gonna tell you about how un-American he is.
If you spend all your time in Florida,
It's either Florida or the cottage.
the cottage is still in Canada.
I know, but still, he's either in Florida or the cottage.
Anyway, I saw that video. You saw that video of him in his cottage. I was like, oh, no wonder he goes there.
Dude, that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
But anyway, Matt, yeah, we appreciate you coming on here. I definitely enjoy talking to you. And I'm going to end this podcast.
This is the way. This is way.
Because we weren't going to do that.
I just want to say thank you for having me as well. Anytime you want me on, literally anytime, as many times as you want, I'm here.
Oh,
Give you a little view
right.
from over the pond.
Right?
We're gonna
Yeah,
go,
this
we're
has
gonna
been
go
fun.
all night, or
no, definitely.
round two
Yeah, no,
tonight,
yeah,
or tomorrow night.
Matt, I definitely want you on for round 2.
Let's have it.
All right. I appreciate everybody listening to this podcast. Have a great day.
Peace.
And we'll see you on the next one.
These aren't the tradesmen you're looking for. You can go about your business. Move along.